everyone. I'm going to start a bit of a new series here. I'm going to be going through what I call my Commodore basement find. It's my Commodore 64 VIC-2128 collection that has been in storage for probably about 15 years at this point. A few things were reboxed when I moved, but nothing's actually been sorted, tested, or really looked at in about 15 years. So I thought I'd take you along on this journey and go over what I've got, and I'm sure there's going to be some surprises for me. Hopefully there'll be some interesting stuff for you. So a little background on how I got into Commodores. Probably in about the mid-90s, I was interested in computers, and at that time we actually already had an IBM compatible, but you know, wasn't mine. Had to share it with the rest of the family. And you could pick up Commodores at garage sales for about 20 bucks for the monitor, the computer, disk drives, and usually a box of accessories. So that really got me started, and I bought pretty much every single one I could find, much to the chagrin of my parents. And it has fostered a lifelong obsession ever since. And yeah, so we'll have a look at my collection and see what we can find. Okay, so crack open the first box here. So on top we've got some manuals. Compute, First Book of Commodore. Okay. Some game manuals. Oh, that's going to be important. Manual for the Super Graphics Junior. I remember that. That is a card that I used to interface my Commodore with a printer. I used that actually quite a bit. Those will probably come in handy too. Couple of boxes of 5 1/4 inch discs, 10 each it looks like, formatted IBM. Well, I'm sure we can use them for Commodore. Epic's Fast Load cartridge for the Commodore 64. I think that's pretty much a must-have. I think most people back in the day had one. It definitely helped and sped things up quite a bit. Okay, manual for the 1541-2 disk drive, and GEOS or GEOS. Not actually sure how you're supposed to pronounce that, but excellent little graphics operating system. Introductory guide. Okay, well, we got lots more manuals in this box than I thought we were going to. 1802 color monitor user's guide. Ah, so there. Oh, and actually there it is right there. Commodore 1200 modem. Yeah, I can't remember where I picked this up. I don't think I've ever actually used it. I don't even know if it works. Quite frankly, I'm not sure if there's anything you can use it for today, but cool little bit of tech anyway. And maybe at some point we'll figure out if there's anything we can do with it. More manuals for GEOS, flight physics, aircraft control, discs, home video producer. That could be interesting. I had no idea there was anything like that for Commodore. The right stuff. Typing tutorial. Sky travel. Yeah, once I actually get one of my Commodores up and running, there's probably going to be lots of exploration of software. See what I can find, see what I can figure out. Whoa! Revenue Canada taxation. Ugh. Golf, Suicide Strike in hockey, home video producer, another disc, speed calc, bond forms, and GEOS. Okay, and a disc divider. Alright, looks like we're getting down into some hardware here. Well, and a couple cartridges. So we have Music Machine, cartridge, C64, Invisible Solar System. Now, it looks like we've got two Commodore 64C systems. Made in Hong Kong. Oh, it's still got the warranty seal on it. Looks like it's in pretty good shape despite being in storage. Hasn't yellowed too much. A little mung on the keys. Well, that one looks a fair amount dirtier. There's another Commodore 64C. Looks like a little different. This one's made in the US, so not sure which one's older or newer at the moment. It's interesting though that they are a little different. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Ah. Epic's joystick. Alright, this one I used a lot. This was one of my personal favorites. It's got a little trigger there. Fits in the palm of your hand quite nicely. Looks like that survived storage reasonably well. That will definitely be getting some use again. Well, something's been shedding plastic bits. A Commodore 1541 dark beige disk drive. Yeah, pretty much your classic standard. I am running out of room. Another Commodore 15. Oh. Does that actually say the same thing on the back? This one says VIC 1541 model number on the back. No, this one just says 1541. Interesting. So I wonder if that means that this one's a little bit older. Did also notice this one, so the one that says the VIC 1541 actually has a different locking mechanism, where the other one here's got the, I'd call the more common toggle. One more 1541. Oh, that one's still got the protective coating on the front plate, which is kind of cool, although it's definitely gotten a little abuse on the case otherwise. And that one just says 1541 as well. So that's interesting. So we've got one kind of different drive here. It's a slightly different shade as well. Slightly different label. 3 1541 drives. Oh, and the power supplies. Now these we'll all have to test before we try using any of them, considering that they have definitely had issues for some people and killed some machines, which we definitely don't want to be doing to any of my Commodores. So that one says it's for 1541 2, 1571 2, and a 1581. So, a preview of what presumably there is elsewhere, because that will go with something else. More loose discs, that's always good for these good old floppy disks. Dr. T's Music Software. And that's for the Tandy, not for the Commodore. MS-DOS GW Basic. Tandy was actually the first IBM compatible system we had. Max Out Coil Cop for the Commodore 64 128. Some more discs, utilities, disk copier, Program 2, ProDOS. Oh, this looks like this might be some Apple stuff. Discware, Apple presents Apple, an introduction to the Apple IIe computer. Quite the eclectic mix of vintage computers. I remember this too, I use this quite a bit. The Elbow. So this lets you use something like the Epix Fast Loader and still have a cartridge slot on the back. And if I remember correctly, that's a reset button as well. I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure we'll test it out at some point. Nice, good, tight fit anyway. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Survived storage all these years. Another disc box. That is definitely Apple software. Interesting. Apple stuff got mixed in with the Commodore stuff apparently. Another cartridge. I'm going to have to try to re-adhere that, but we have Qbert, which Parker Brothers. Not even entirely sure if this is a Commodore cartridge or if this is an Atari cartridge. Well, that's probably going to take a little research. To me, it almost looks more like an Atari cartridge. But I will figure that one out. Manual for Taipan. A whole bunch more power bricks down at the bottom. Oh, disk drive cables. Definitely going to need those. This looks like a C60 or a Commodore 64C power supply. 5-volt output, 8.5 watt, 9-volt AC, indoor use only. Another one we will have to test before we are plugging in anything, that's for sure. Okay, RF cable. That actually will probably come in handy. I might be able to use that to hook up and test some of my Commodores here in the near future. Get down to the bottom. Another disk drive cable. Not too exciting. Huh. Well, not sure what that was off of, but hopefully it wasn't too important. Knob. Couple more tangled power supplies here. Another 64C. This one's got a little physical damage on it. Some of the fins that were never anything more than cosmetic anyway are broken. Try not to break any more here. This looks a fair amount older. Power supply. 5-volt and 12-volt. For 1541.2, 1571.2, and 1581. So, no, not really older, just another one for disk drive. I have a feeling I'm going to find an awful lot of disk drives in the course of this. black power supply, and this one feels like it's bowed on the bottom. Not sure that's a good sound. Anyway, black power supply. Yeah, that's another one for like a system unit. That one I would definitely have some questions about. So same with that one. That one's got tape over the end, which I might very well have done to tell myself not to use that one. And another disk drive cable. And that's the end of that box. So, interesting haul. Definitely a few surprises. I didn't realize that there were two different types of these 1541s. It's probably actually more than that. A whole bunch of bricks and far more software mixed in with some of the hardware than I thought there was. But we did find a few of the little gems that I was hoping to find. And one more step towards getting one of my Commodores up and running. Okay, well that's it for this box. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see some more, please like and subscribe. And feel free to check me out on Twitter as well as Instagram. You can find both my accounts linked below. And until next time, keep tinkering.